This is Darby Dyer, and I am presenting a Prezi today on Prezi as a teaching tool in the classroom, its benefits and potential problems. And so I have a template that was pre-made, and then I added in the text, but you can choose Prezis that are already templates, or you can make your own. Now here are some benefits for using Prezi in the classroom. It can be used for any subject area, such as English, math, science, history, or any other content area. It can also be used at any grade level, such as college level, high school level, middle school, or elementary, because it's entertaining and interactive for all students, as well as all types of learners, like visual, kinesthetic, and auditory. It's definitely a visual type of presentation because we can see it, we can watch the videos, we can see the text, but it's also kinesthetic and can target kinesthetic learners because of the movement of Prezi moving around with it. And then it can also target auditory learners because of the sound options. You can import videos, you can import music, you can import sound files of all sorts, and so it definitely attracts a variety of learners, and it enables users to be creative and express their individuality. I personally like owls, and so I included a template that has owls on it, and because I found it to be visually appealing, while someone else may find something else to be visually appealing and something that would express their individuality or creativity. Now, being able to create your own template allows you to be creative because you can move your frames and add videos and do whatever you want in whatever order you want. And because, speaking of order, the Prezi is non-linear, users can create their own paths. And so Prezi is a sort of create your own journey type of presentation because it doesn't have to be in sequential order, but can rather go in any order that you like and you think would be fitting to your audience and the purpose of your presentation. Prezi can also be used by a variety of users. It can be used by teachers and students, and it can also be used in other workplaces for presentational reasons. I've used it in the classroom as a teacher, and I'm using it currently as a student. I've also had my students use it in the classroom for their presentations, so a variety of people can use Prezi. Prezi allows for imports from a variety of sources such as YouTube, Google, Audacity, and various other imports. Now, one last benefit that I'd like to mention is the limitation of text. While it sounds at first like a disadvantage, the limitation allows and forces users to be concise, and this is definitely a good thing because Prezi is not a place for redundancy or wordiness, but instead a place for concision, and so users can establish that by using bullets and numbering and not necessarily having to include full sentences. One other benefit that I do not have listed here is that Prezi is actually free for all users. You just have to have a working email, which is definitely advantageous for teachers and students who are on a budget and can't afford to invest in Prezi as a program, but can instead use it for free. So that's definitely another advantage. Now here are some uses Prezi can have in the classroom. You can use Prezi for interactive note-taking. I used Prezi to teach ethos, pathos, and logos and imported commercials that demonstrated each of the appeals, and my students absolutely loved it. It definitely had a long-lasting effect on my students because to this day they continue to talk to me about ethos, pathos, and logos and the ones they found in various commercials, and so I know that using that Prezi and the ability to import the commercials definitely had an advantage in my classroom and made their learning worthwhile and effective. Now Prezi can be used for group projects too. Each user, or each group member rather, can have X amount of frames and be responsible for them and then present them on the day of their group presentation. And so it definitely encourages collaborative learning as well as independent learning. My students did an independent reading project a couple 6 weeks this year, and they chose a book and then did a presentation on it. And so using Prezi, my students were able to import YouTube videos of book trailers as well as movie trailers for those movies, or for those books that have become movies, like Hunger Games and Twilight and so on. So these are just a couple uses Prezi can have in the classroom, but the opportunities are endless. These are just a few. Now, with every program, there are some disadvantages or problems that could possibly develop. Now, some that I've noticed or that I've found from my sources are that the zooming option can become problematic because it could cause disorientation, nausea, or confusion, or even distractions from the audience. So making sure that you're familiar with the way the zooming works on Prezi is definitely something to consider before you show it to an audience. That's something that I learned the hard way after showing it to several of my classes. I did become somewhat disoriented because of zooming in correctly in and out. And my students got kind of distracted whenever I didn't zoom in properly. So knowing how to use the zooming options is definitely something to look into. Now, all Prezis are accessible online, so that seems like an advantage and can be very well to teachers who want to use ones that are already made. However, it does become a problem when it comes to plagiarism because students may think that because they're accessible online that they can use one for their project without giving credit, and that is not something that we should allow. So being mindful of this and just letting the students know that we discourage them using a Prezi that is not their own is something that we should all do in the classroom. Now, if we were to use one in the classroom that we did not create as teachers, we need to make sure that we let our students know who the creator was and that we've reviewed the material to ensure that it's accurate prior to showing it. And we should not take credit for it, as we want to act as good role models for our students. Now, voiceovers can be problematic, and I can definitely attest to this. I have encountered several problems with doing voiceovers using Prezi. Now, I don't know if it's my computer or if it's just the different programs I've used, but I've attempted to use Camtasia. I've also attempted to use Tegrity, and both of them were very slow with my computer while I was running Prezi as well. However, I'm using another one right now that I think it's called Screen Master-O-Matic or something like that, that is taking the image of my screen and the movements I make and having a voiceover with it. So hopefully this works out well, as it's probably my 11th or 12th time to try this. But don't be discouraged by that, because I've never encountered issues with Prezi before other than the zooming thing in my classroom, and because I haven't ever had to use a voiceover, I'm there to present the Prezi, and so I haven't needed to use a voiceover until this time. Now, another problem that Prezi had at first, when it first came out, was that it didn't have a spell checker, but there is one now. So that gives me hope that, Prezi addressed the problem with the spell checker, so perhaps Prezi will address the problem with voiceovers. So I think it will definitely advance as time goes on. Now, next are my references, and so this concludes my Prezi that I've made for my technology profile, but I do want to kind of familiarize you a little bit with the format of Prezi outside of this presentation. So I'm pulling that up right now. Okay, so I just want to show you what my home page looks like. Here it is. Now you see all of my Prezis that I've created, and I have a demo, and then I've clicked already for you the new Prezi and what it looks like to choose the different templates, so you can see what that looks like. So there's the blank option, there's other ones, you see my owl one, there's ones that have to do with the universe, there are ones that are just more general, that can be used for anything. There's a map, I believe, yes, a world map. So you see that Prezi is geared toward various content areas in the classroom and various forms of presentations that you might want to put on. So there's a variety of options you can choose. Now, something else I want to show you. I'm going to go to my demo and just show you how to edit a couple things before I conclude my my presentation here. Just so once you're in Prezi and you're trying to edit something, you don't mess around with it for too long. I'd like to show you at least some things that are pretty popular with Prezi, and that's inserting images and inserting videos, or importing YouTube videos, because those are two great things that Prezi has to offer that you all should definitely take advantage of. Okay, so my demo is pulled up. I'm just going to go ahead and click the edit button so I can show you how to edit my demo Prezi And my demo Prezi is on World War II propaganda. I've taught this before, and it's just something familiar that I decided to use because we can find a bunch of videos as well as images on propaganda. And my students enjoyed talking about World War II propaganda because it was something familiar to them, as they had a unit on the Holocaust in 8th grade, and I teach 9th graders. Alright, so that my demo is coming up. It might take a minute. Now the current program I'm using for my voiceover and my screen cast is called Screencast-O-Matic. I think I misspoke earlier talking about it. But Screencast-O-Matic, it seems to be working thus far, and so if you all do ever need to use a voiceover program with Prezi, perhaps Screencast-O-Matic is the way to go. It too is free, just as Tegrity and Camtasia is, but like I said, with Prezi, Camtasia, and Tegrity did give me some problems, so I would consider perhaps Screencast-O-Matic instead to use. Okay, so I have some, and realize this is a demo, this is not a finalized product. Alright, it's freezing up a little, but hopefully this will resolve soon. Okay, so I already have some images, but I want to show you what it looks like to delete images, what it looks like to insert them. So I'm trying to click on this image so we can delete it. Okay, so now it's giving me that option. Oh. Okay, when it is blue, that allows you to move it around. I'll show you how to do that. Okay, this is wanting me to crop it, which that's not what I'm wanting to do right now. So double clicking on the image will eventually allow it to have a frame around it, and then you can move it, and you can just make it smaller, make it bigger. So I'm trying to get back to that option, but I may just have to set it aside and just show you how to, I'll go ahead and show you how to insert. So here we go. You would insert image. And the cool thing about inserting images through Prezi is that you can just type in your image that you're looking for. So I'm wanting World War II propaganda. And so you would just hit search. And as you see, it's searching. Okay, so what's cool about this is that you can just click on one and it'll appear, and then you can size it down, you can move it. Now we just zoomed in, now you see the zooming and what happens when you zoom in. Okay, now I'm zooming out. Okay, so I'm trying to click on my image so we can change the size. I assure you, you can. It's just causing some problems right now with the zooming. You're witnessing the zooming issue. Alright, so okay, finally it's allowing me to move the image. But it's going slow because of the voiceover program with Prezi. So I'm going to go ahead and move over to the video just so you see that I've inserted a video. And I want to show you how to do that. Okay, so I assure you, you will not encounter this issue as you're working with Prezi unless you're doing a voiceover. It seems like voiceovers are problematic with it. So I am running out of time, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just wrap it up. Do not be discouraged by the problems that you've witnessed today with the Prezi in editing. Just realize that it's because of the voiceover. It's a great use in the classroom for students. It's engaging, and I definitely encourage it. I use it in my classroom. I don't encourage you using voiceovers just because of the problems that I've encountered. So be mindful of that, and I wish you all luck using Prezi.